In the past 24 months, I have helped 106 founders go from startup idea to successful business. Some of them were immensely successful, raising a total of 15 million in funding, acquiring happy and loyal customers, and grossing six figures in their first year of business. Because it is my 2-year anniversary, I asked myself, what sets apart these hyper successful founders from the rest? What are the 3 core traits that all of these hyper successful founders have in common? So I dug deeper to uncover the 3 core traits that successful founders I personally work with have in common, so you can avoid the common pitfalls that lead to startup failure and follow the path most likely to lead to startup success. And the last one of these traits is pretty counterintuitive, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's dive in with trait number 1, avoiding confirmation bias. At the beginning of a new business project, we tend to be hyper motivated and think this is the next big thing. Therefore, whenever we talk to potential clients or market participants, we tend to disregard their negative feedback or disinterest. We think that, oh, they just don't get it, or when they see our final product, they will be hyped about it and they will be convinced. But this is confirmation bias in action. Confirmation bias is our tendency to favor information and feedback that confirm our existing beliefs and ignore evidence that contradicts them. This can gravely influence our decision making. To make unbiased decisions, we need to be aware of this bias and take into account all relevant information objectively. Our confirmation bias stems from us being in love with our business idea in such a way that we shut ourselves off from relevant or helpful advice. But this is exactly what we need. We need others to challenge our ideas and beliefs. This is exactly what I noticed with the most successful founders. They understand that their idea will evolve over time. I personally fell victim to the confirmation bias with my first startup, where I spent 2 years building a product that really nobody wanted while ignoring negative feedback and concerns from market participants, users, and potential investors. This led me to waste 2 full years of my personal and my team members' time and hundreds of thousands of dollars in investor money. Looking back at this time, today I understand that I could have saved 2 years of my personal time and my team members' time and hundreds of thousands of dollars in investor money had I adapted the right mode of thinking. And there are 2 important modes of thinking: the scout and the soldier mindset. This is a concept that I borrowed from Julia Galap's great book, The Scout Mindset. A scout is somebody who holds their beliefs and convictions very loosely, like an unbiased journalist or a private detective. Somebody who's looking for the truth, somebody who is searching for relevant answers. They are looking for evidence and they let numbers, facts, and figures speak for themselves. A soldier, on the other hand, is somebody who has very strong convictions, somebody who is only focused on executing their mission, and their mission success is the only thing that matters to them. Neither a scout nor a soldier is better or worse, but both have different strengths and weaknesses. A scout might be notoriously bad at executing because they're never done analyzing. They're always looking for the next piece of evidence to make their decision. And somebody who has a soldier mindset is very good at executing because they're only looking forward and only want to have a successful mission, but they might actually execute the wrong mission because they never question themselves. So what is the solution here? Which mindset should successful founders incorporate, a scout or the soldier mindset? Well, both. On the one hand, successful founders always need to look for the truth. Especially in the first stage of their business endeavor, all what founders actually have are hypotheses, and these hypotheses will be proven or disproven in the process of building their business. So founders profit from scout mindset. On the other hand, founders need to move forward with full conviction even in times of uncertainty. They need at some point to say, okay, we are going to be successful with this product. So here is my recommendation on how to navigate your mindset as a successful founder. When it comes to your personal success, you want to incorporate a soldier mindset. This means you are not affected by negative feedback, and you know that as long as you're moving forward, you are on the right track to success. But when it comes to your startup idea and the details of your business, you want to incorporate a scout mindset, always looking for the truth, being aware of the fact that your business idea will evolve over time. In order to advance your business, you will need feedback from market participants, pilot customers, and experts, which brings me to the second trait of highly successful startup founders. Trait number 2, go to the market even before you feel ready. At every stage of their business endeavor, successful founders are always in very close contact with the market. But what do I mean when I say the market? Well, your market is represented by your customers, by your competitors or other market participants, and multipliers like market experts and influencers. Startup failure is almost guaranteed for founders who lock themselves in their lab for the next months and years and completely ignore the market. If you want to be successful with your business needs contact with the market. Even before the first line of code is written, even before the first prototype is built, even before the first sketch is made, you need to talk to potential clients and other market participants. You need to fully understand their problems, their issues, their hopes and fears, so you can create something that they would want to pay for. This is the #1 hack in entrepreneurship. You can forget all about marketing strategy, formulating USPs, raising investor money if you get this one thing right. If you can create something that your customers will actually want, everything else will fall into place automatically. Your potential investors will want to give you money if you can show to them that you have market traction. People will want to join your business if they see how valuable your product or offering is important to your customers. Sales and marketing will be so much easier if you create something that people actually want to buy. Remember, nobody wants to be sold to, but everybody wants their problems to go away. This begs the question, how do you actually go to the market? Here are 2 ways of how you can accomplish this even if you have no product, no team, and no investment. The first way is simply talking to potential customers. This is often referred to as customer discovery, and it might seem pretty easy in the beginning, but it is not as simple as it seems. People rarely know what their problems are and are often unable to verbalize their optimal solution to their issues and problems. So instead of talking to your customers, try to witness them struggle with a problem that you're trying to solve for them. The second way you can enter the market is by creating a minimum viable product, an MVP. Most startup founders sadly make the tragic mistake of incorporating way too many features and functions inside their MVP, which means it takes them way too long to build the actual product. In order to create an MVP, you need to break down your product to the bare minimum. Entering the market with your MVP is best if you can create an MVP very quickly. This might be more difficult for hardware startups compared to software startups or service offers. I personally advise founders to enter the market with an MVP because this allows you to get real, tangible feedback on your offering. You can start and measure how many people would actually pay for the product, how many people are still using the MVP a week, a month, or even a year later. How easy is it to get new users in, and how many recommendations do I get from my first users? You can start and measure all of these and get real tangible answers. But there is another extremely important aspect to this second trait. Successful founders enter the market before they feel ready. Most of us founders want to be proud of our products. We want customers to be impressed, and we fear their negative feedback on our MVP. Understand that these feelings will hold you back from entering the market with your MVP. This is why the most successful founders rarely listen to their feelings concerning their MVP and just enter the market instead. I remember when I built the MVP to my second startup, Sound Animal, a rehearsal studio for playing and practicing music. I launched the location without any actual music gear, and I would lead hordes of potential customers through empty spaces, describing to them how the space will look like in a couple of months and what equipment will be available for them to use and how the booking system will work. Sure, this felt very weird in the beginning, but through this process I was able to close first customers, which led the location to break even just a couple of months later. And this brings me to the third and last trait of highly successful founders. Trait number 3, iterate as fast as possible. Building a successful business is like trying to solve a maze. Whenever they feel like they hit a wall, successful founders retrieve their steps and change their approach. This is where your scout mindset comes in. First, you build an MVP, then you measure market response, and then you improve based on this market response. This repeated process of build, measure, and then improve was made popular by Eric Ries's influential book, The Lean Startup. And while most founders understand this in principle, many of them underestimate the importance of iterating as fast as possible. If you iterate too slowly, you waste important resources and time. Iterating as fast as possible allows you to reach product market fit much faster. This is when you have finally identified the product that you want to scale later. So once you hit a roadblock, the real question is how many steps do you retrieve before changing your approach? In general, in the beginning stage of your startup, changes can be more grave. In the first stage, successful founders sometimes radically change their trajectory. They focus on a different market segment, or they switch to a different product, or they radically build a completely new MVP. This is nothing to be afraid of because nobody will remember what you did last year if you're successful today. The further you grow your business, the smaller the changes are. Many founders that I've worked with at some point hit a roadblock and then wonder what they can do. Here are 3 ideas how you can iterate your business. Idea number 1, ask yourself, what is the business behind the business? Airbnb is the business behind renting out your flat. Uber is the business behind being a cab driver. Second idea, try and target a much smaller segment of your customer niche, but serve them in such a perfect way that no competitor could. Once you completely dominate this market segment, you can expand horizontally to other market segments. Third idea, let the market lead you. Say yes to everything your customer wants and try to identify something scalable much later on. These were the 3 core traits of highly successful founders. But before I end this video, I want to give you one more bonus trait that after working with 106 startup founders, I've identified as extremely helpful. Bonus trait, have a genuine interest in solving a problem for your customers. Sure, you could build a business that you personally have zero interest in, but after consulting 106 startup founders in the past 2 years, I've seen that the ones who fail are in general the ones that give up prematurely. They do not retrieve their steps, they do not talk to their customers, and they stop iterating. Having a genuine interest in solving a problem for your customers, in making your customers' lives easier, and providing something that people will actually want to pay for makes your life as a founder much easier. This does not mean that you personally have to use your product. It does not mean that you are one of your customers. It just means that you care about people's problems, wishes, and desires. By following the mindset, I want to improve other people's lives, you will automatically generate something worth building. You will build something that other people want to pay for, want to use, and are thankful for. If you have watched this video so far, it probably means that you yourself want to build a successful business. After building 2 companies myself and after helping 106 startup founders build successful companies, I've decided to open up some slots in my personal calendar for everybody currently working in tech, looking for a way to transition into entrepreneurship. So if this applies to you, feel free to apply to a free one-on-one session with me. And as always, be bold and be brave, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.